Taco Bell and you see somebody that looks like them, you're going to Burger King. All right. No phone calls, no letters, no social media contact. One of them has a change of heart and reaches out to you and wants to talk. No, because they don't change the order. It's my order. They can't change my order. Understood? So zero contact. All right. You know where they live? He just walked out without her email address.
I'm sorry, what?
I told him to get her email address so he could email his community service, and he walked right past her.
Well, the probation fine is good hard.
Perfect.
You come back.
Just tell him to go get a card. I'm sorry, Counsel, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with some of the parties here. Judge, the defendant is aware she's got a right to hearing. We would still be tendering a plea of guilty based upon what I initially said. We would admit to a technical violation in January. She would contest some of the allegations that have been brought forth by the alleged victims. All of that said, I think some clarification might be in order for everybody here as to exactly what the terms are of no contact. I wasn't here at the initial sentencing.
Right.
I know that she's expressed a little bit of confusion, but I think we could probably clarify these things for right now.
Mhm.
I would leave it
Okay.
up to you then from that point forward.
Thank you. All right. So are all of you named victims on this case? Or just one of you? Okay. Well, what was the probation order?
It looks
I'm asking her. You don't have it. She does.
That's for you to see that was the. You indicated all complaint victims.
Yeah, but I don't know who that was. Let's see what the paperwork says. So the only victim on the complaint is Michelle Smith. Is that you, ma'am? And I don't have a plea agreement. I don't think. Yeah, no contact with victim, Miss Smith, or grandchildren. Is that you too? Okay. How old are the grandkids? Little. All right. So I'm assuming that the grandkids don't have their own social media accounts and all that stuff. Am I right? Okay. All right. So who's had contact from Miss McFarland? Miss Smith, you? Okay. So she's not contacting the kids, the little kids, the 11-year-old directly, but she's going to their house, which is where you folks live. All right, ma'am, what's your name? Okay. And you're at the same house? Okay. All right. So when was she at your house?
2 dates.
It was 217, I believe.
And March 3rd.
Okay. So what's the connection with their little kids and you? Okay. All right. So there's no reason for you to be going to their house. Okay. Okay. All right. And you two were there or one of you two were there I'm sorry? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Did we already have this conversation today? Are you working somewhere? Where at? All right. How many hours a week? 40. How old are you? 21. Any prior criminal offenses? Okay. Where'd you go to high school? Graduate? Got any college? All right. So you haven't, no college yet? Okay. All right. So Ms. Smith, what was the original charge about? You were listed as the victim. Okay. So what was the contact or what was the connection between you and Ms. McFarland? Okay. 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 But you individually have had no contact. She has had no contact with you. Okay. All right. You did jail time on this file
For not doing-
for not doing your work program? How bad did that suck? All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let your delayed sentence run out the 9 months, which basically gets us to July. If there are no further problems, then I'll let you have the dismissal. That's the way the delayed sentence was meant to work. So then you don't have a criminal history at that point. If there are further allegations of contact between you and that family at all, then I'm going to have a hearing. And at that hearing, if I determine that you've had contact with them of any kind, and I'm going to clarify that in just a minute, but if I find out that you've had contact, not only will this go on your record as a conviction, I'm probably putting you in jail again. Clear? So let's make sure you understand what no contact means. I mean, you're at Taco Bell and you see somebody that looks like them, you're going to Burger King. All right? No phone calls, no letters, no social media contact. One of them has a change of heart and reaches out to you and wants to talk. No, because they don't change the order. It's my order. They can't change my order. Understood? So 0 contact. All right? You know where they live? All right? Okay. You got it?
With this department.
What's the name? I'm sorry.
Cameron McFarland.
McFarland?
MCFA.
Ms. McFarland, come on up.
Good morning, Your Honor. Tim Kuhn, case 64917, attorney to the evidence. Thank you, my love. Please take your name. You are looking for a possible violation of probation hearing that I've been discussing there with her. She's aware of what her rights are as it relates to a violation of probation. Judge, I don't know that a hearing is necessary. I think there might be a technical violation here. We'd like to give an explanation as to what's going on and the hope that you maintain her on probation as is.
Okay, so just so we're all on the same page, the allegation is that she made contact with the victim in this case in violation of an order not to do so.
That is correct, Your Honor. I don't know that the date here is consistent with what we're thinking it is. It might be January 17th of 2026 as opposed to February 17th.
Okay,
And I can speak to that. I'm
Okay.
aware that this might be a technical violation and under rights, and we'd like to avail ourselves, or like to try to avail ourselves of the grace here.
go ahead.
Judge, I appreciate the defendant has those no contact provisions. It sounds like one of those alleged victims had been reaching out to her repeatedly, starting in January via social media and some direct text messages. She would admit today that on January 17th, she responded with a response, "Are you okay?" That's it.
Okay,
She's since locked all those accounts. She has no contact. Am I correct with that? But, and again, Your Honor, this was only after, for the defendant, the victim had reached out a number of times, and she's shown me some of these screenshots.
okay.
Your Honor?
Yeah.
Have the victims here in the courtroom.
Okay. Do you want to talk to them or you want to just put them on the record?
I wouldn't mind if I'm consistent, if my understanding is consistent with what's going on. I just want to make sure that that date you
I'll
set,
give you a chance to talk to them.
we can set this matter aside.
Sure. Yeah. Is that right, Matthew?
Good morning, Your Honor. Thank you. Case 64917, defendant, Ms. Matthew, who's standing for the left. Ms. Matthew, state his name for me. Your Honor, we're here today for potential violation of probation. Defendant reported that she's a right to be hearing. After talking with her, I don't think the evidence said that she, like, defendant pleaded guilty with an explanation.
All right, so she was sentenced on February 12th. Non-compliant with substance abuse treatment, non-compliant with testing. We've got a THC positive on February 24. Then again on March 5. Okay, go ahead.
But as it relates to those positive tests and speaking with the defendant, she now does have this marijuana card, has a diagnosis with an actual treating physician who believes that marijuana is appropriate given her health. So I will
You
make
should have started with that. Because you violated my order now, and that's not a good place to ask for a favor. Because I don't have to let you have the marijuana. I mean, I could literally order you not to have prescribed narcotics if a doctor had you on those. Go ahead.
So we're obviously a position of weakness here. She should have done that initially. However, she's done it now. She seems to be complying with the other things. As it relates to the substance abuse treatments, I'm not quite sure exactly what she's been ordered to do on that.
Just that, I think.
She actually reported yesterday and went over everything. She has a plan to start next week once she gets paid. She indicated that she started her community service yesterday.
We're at,
It's a church, it was like a United Methodist Church, it's in Redford.
okay. Where are you working at?
Right, sorry. I did change my job, I work at Love's now, it's closer to my daughter's school. I get practice.
Okay. All right.
I will say I wasn't like fully aware that I had the option to like get a medical marijuana card in the beginning, or I would have tried that sooner. And didn't really know that was an option.
But you knew you weren't supposed to use marijuana while you're on probation, right? All right, what's your recommendation, Ms. Trolley?
And then we allow her to use her medical marijuana and put her back on reporting. Seems like she was just sentenced last month, but is getting on track.
All right, so are you a golfer? Do you know what a mulligan is?
I do kind of.
Yeah, what it means is I'm gonna give you grace today because you're new. We're just trying to get you on track. No more. All right. So if you have questions, contact her and say, look, what about this? What about that? All right. No, she's recommended, and I'm gonna go along with it. I'm gonna allow the medical marijuana. How do you ingest your THC?
Usually I would smoke or I would eat gums.
I'm more comfortable with the edibles.
I've been trying to do more stuff like that, 'cause it's, not as bad for you. So.
Okay. Okay. All right. Good luck. Mr. Taylor, you're going forward today without a court-appointed attorney. Is that correct? All right. Let's see what we got. I've got a file that goes back to June of 2025. Looks like you were sentenced January 22nd, 2026. All right, so according to probation, you didn't show up to schedule your work program on February 20 like you were supposed to. Tested positive for marijuana on February 13th. We're still waiting for documentation from Hagera or other treatment center. So well, the good news is you're making payments. All right.
I here March 9th, I believe.
Okay.
Substance abuse treatment. They said they would give me a call back in 2 weeks. To actually begin it, I did an intake, actually the Taylor, Eureka.
Okay.
So I'm just waiting on that. I thought that,
But we need paperwork.
yeah, I actually have the paperwork at my home. I can send a screenshot and email it to my.
Email it to Mr. Rowley. Okay.
I was just gonna add one thing. I have an alcohol tester on my leg. And
Okay.
Testing.
Hold on. From this file or some other file?
Sure.
Okay.
Leave for,
How much longer are you on probation?
leave like a year.
That's it. Is that an alcohol tether?
Yes, it's a SRAM tether. So I have a alcohol tether with my leg and monitors me. And I was just trying to see, I have so many other obligations.
Stop right there. We've ordered testing here. We didn't know about your tether.
Yeah, we go.
So-
Africa for this $20 a week.
No.
I have a tether.
Well, the problem is the tether's not going to catch you smoking marijuana.
That's why I was like, and I also drug test every Tuesday and Thursday at Lincoln Park through Miss Anderson,
All
my
right.
probation officers on
All
4th.
right. Well, I'll tell you what, if my probation department can, Miss Anderson,
Yeah.
If Ms. Tiroli can confirm with Ms. Anderson, then Ms. Anderson will keep us in the loop, then we're not gonna double test you.
I really appreciate it, you know, but.
I don't wanna have you jumping through those hoops. No.
On the
It's pricey.
classes.
I got you. I got you.
But I got you a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I have another issue, like I have to see you again next week, you know, for my alcoholism.
What do you got, another charge?
Yes, for OWI. It was before.
Right.
Obviously.
Before you were on probation?
But you know, now I'm just trying to do better. I did smoke marijuana. I didn't know that I couldn't smoke marijuana, but as far as like legal substance and alcohol, I'm refraining from
Okay.
that. You know, I'm just,
Okay. Well, where are you working at?
I work out in HVAC and stuff like that. And
Who do you work for?
I don't have a company that I work for.
You just working on your own? Okay. How long you been doing that?
I stay in Eastport, Michigan. I changed my address and stuff like that.
Do we have the new one?
We do not.
All right,
Oh, okay.
all right. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, best piece of advice I can give you. Communicate, communicate, communicate. When your probation officer doesn't know your new address, that's a problem.
Yeah. I thought I did.
Yeah. All right, so how long you been self-employed?
Over a year now.
Okay, it's new.
I graduated from my, with type 1 and type 2, refrigerant.
Okay. Okay.
About 2 years.
You keep 'em busy?
It's just hard for me to, work for a company like Flame and stuff like that because of my felony background.
Right,
So I just
Right.
elected to,
yeah, but you're paying your bills?
Yeah. I pay
Good.
the bills.
Good, okay. All right,
I've been going to a home for my little.
okay. How many days does he owe us on the work program? All right, I'm gonna let you reschedule the 6 days,
Yeah.
but I get two things I want to stress upon. Number one, no mood altering substances includes marijuana.
Oh, yeah.
Number two, work program is an alternative to jail. If you can't make it to our work program, we'll provide transportation to jail. I just want you to understand, if there's further problems with you not showing up when you're scheduled, then you're just doing the days in jail. All right? Because we understand it's a schedule. So if we give you that slot for that day, that's somebody else that can't get that day on them. All right. Did I miss anything, Ms. Trolley? He's gonna get you documentation about Higuera. You'll talk to probation, Ms. Anderson, so we can coordinate, so we're not double dipping. Okay, anything else?
No, I'll go to Miss Anderson right after this to.
Good.
So I don't know if I could get
So,
her.
perfect,
Yeah.
perfect. Let her know that Ms. Trolley will be contacting you. Is Avery down there to schedule days? Okay, so you can go down there and schedule your 6 days.
Oh.
I understand, brother. I didn't give you a penalty day.
Yeah,
I'm just giving you another chance to get on track.
yes, sir.
All right? Don't take my kindness for a sign of weakness, because if you're standing here again on violation, there'll be penalties. So good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Ms. Trolley, who's next?
Ms. Yelder?
Yelder with a Y. Ms. Yelder, come on up. Are you going forward today without benefit of a court-appointed attorney? So I've got a file that goes back to February of last year, 25. Looks like we put you on the delayed sentence in March of 25. Is there a new charge pending? So they elected not to charge on the February
Yeah.
11th issue? Oh, I'm just getting to that. Okay. All right, so you've been doing batterers counseling? Where at?
Pam's Place Counseling.
Where's that at? Okay. Did you say Pam's Place? Oh, okay, we know that one. All right. All right. Is that the mental health treatment we were looking for, or is there?
She's also engaged in treatment at first step. She's been compliant. She did complete her batteries counseling.
Good. All right, so the big problem was the new arrest. Okay, and that didn't go anywhere, so we're good? Put her back on?
Today, actually, her scheduled discharge date, so.
Oh, good. Yeah, close her successfully. Okay. All right, any questions? You all set? You're welcome. Next.
We have Miss Beckwith.
Beckwith with a B. Ms. Beckwith, come on up. Are you going forward today without benefit of a court-appointed attorney? I've got a file that goes back to April 5, 2025. Operating while visibly impaired. Sentencing was August 14th. What do you got going on at 25th District Court?
Before the things to the year, I have got over.
What's the charge there? Okay, where are you at in the process? Have you, no, I mean, have you pled guilty on that charge? So you've been sentenced? Okay,
I also.
hold on, I'm still reading. I'm gonna give you plenty of chance to talk. That's all right. You went to Guidance Center on February 25? All right, where you at?
She did provide documentation of treatment. I would recommend 10 hours, 10 additional hours of community service, just given that positive.
Has she already done some hours for us? Okay, where'd you do it at? Good, good. All right, so tell me about probation at 25th. What are you doing?
I got what's other end. And, I have to attend AA. I just started like last week, for the
When did they put you on probation?
March month.
Pretty recent. Go ahead.
And I'm inside the guidance center and I do group meetings every Friday. I see a therapist and just see me yesterday.
Okay. Do they have you doing anything that we have you doing? Yeah, so you're not doing the same stuff for both probations right now. Okay, all right. Are you working? When's the last time you worked?
Years ago.
Okay. All right. What's your suggestion? Emily, 10 hours and just put her back on?
Yeah.
All right, how long you need to get another 10 hours done?
That's with the 25th.
Yeah. Let's do this. Let's get it done by the end of April, or get as much done as you can by the end of April, and then we'll give you a little bit more time. Just don't wait and tell me you didn't do any and you need more time. Just understand, if you don't get it all done, what's that? I'm gonna give you until the end of April. I'm just warning you, don't contact us the last week of the month and say, I haven't done any yet. Can I have more time? Because the answer is no. If you say, you know, I need another couple weeks to get another 3 hours done, then we're gonna work with you. Any questions? Good luck. Next,
Mr. Markowski for sentencing.
Mr. Markowski. Mr. Markowski, are you going forward today without benefit of a court-appointed attorney? Have you looked at the report? Anything in that report that is not factually correct? All right. Anything you want to add to that report?
Generally, I have my sister here because she's a big advocate, but I think I feel confident.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anything else before I sentence?
Negative now.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for your service. I see that you did 3 years with the Marines. I appreciate that. All right. Ms. Tiroli's recommendation is that we just do fines and costs. No probation. I'm going to go along with that. Fines and cost total on the file is $1,500. Can you pay that today or do you need options?
Gosh.
Go downstairs, front counter, tell them you want to talk about your payment options. They'll give you all the options. Just when you walk out of here, make sure you got a plan. All right, questions? You all set? Fully, counsel, your appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke, appearing on behalf of my client, consenting to the matter being heard via Zoom. As the arraignment, we waive formal reading. My client stands mute.
So, Mr. Pulley, I've got a couple files, but before I get into those, I just want to let you know we've got two files coming up for court dates. Malicious destruction of property coming up for April 16, a pretrial, and then interfering with police coming up for the court date on April 23. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. The files we're looking at today are all warranted files. A June 21, 2020 MDOP and an October 17, 2021 disorderly person. Those are both on a delayed sentence. I'm just going to set those for a review to see if any of these other files end up in a conviction, because if they enter into a conviction, or if they end up in a conviction, they might violate the terms of the delayed sentence. But at this point, I don't see where those terms, delayed sentence terms, have been violated. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Actually, well, it's got to be a conviction, but what's,
Wait, successful.
can you, they've already been entered?
July 22 because he failed to pay and failed to do.
Oh, then why do I have these filed?
Because he had warrants on him and
For what?
for money.
Money? Oh, they're money files.
You told him to come in and he's supposed to make up his payment and he will not make anything.
Okay, so that's what we got. All right. Yeah, so on the MDOP, you owe $1,540. On the disorderly, you owe $700. And when I saw you the beginning of February, you said you were going to start making payments and you did not. Why?
I actually went up to the court, but at the time I only had $50 to give, and the clerk told me she couldn't accept the 75 because it's less than what the judge ordered. She could only accept what the judge ordered, and I do have receipts and everything to prove behind that. She gave me 2 sheets with the schedule on it, and then another copy was a yellow piece of paper.
When were you in court with $50?
I went up to the day you told me to pay. I went up there, and I only had the $50, and she said, and I had the paper you gave to give me.
Okay,
And she said, yeah.
so all of February and all of March, you didn't come up with some more money?
Yeah, well, I did at the time. I just been going through a lot of this. Unfortunately, a lot of old warrants, and my past been catching up to me.
All right, so you tell me you've been spending a lot of time in jail?
In the past 5, no, not the 2 months, but these past 5 days, I have warrants, and they've been calling around.
Okay, well, what about the full month of February? Are you working somewhere?
Yeah, I do photography. I actually have disability, but I do photography for my money. Just a side hustle.
Okay, so my question remains the same. You were working during February and March, knowing that you owed us over $2,600, knowing that you had committed to make payments to me personally, and you still didn't make any payments. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Why?
I apologize.
You're almost pushing me in a corner where I got no option but to put you in jail.
I understand that. I do. I understand that, and I apologize. I really do. That's my responsible.
Well, Mr.
Irresponsible.
Pollard, I'm not trying to be funny, but your apology don't pay the light bill here.
You're right.
When can you come up with some money on this?
If I
Or
get out,
you know what? I'll give you another option. You want me to just give you work days and you can work this off?
can I do both? Or no, it's one or the other.
I'll give you a hybrid. How much can you pay?
When I get out of here, I can have.
Well, hold on. Counsel, does he have any other holds or warrants?
Not to my knowledge.
Sergeant?
I believe he does.
No.
I'd have to go look at the sheet though. I can get back to you on that one.
Okay. Well, let's not make any commitments yet until I find out if you're getting out of here today. But let's assume you're getting out of here today. What can you give us and when?
I could give you the $75 that I committed to.
Oh, brother, that don't do it anymore.
Okay, you're right.
$100. Tell me when you can have some serious money up here.
I could have $200. It's the same thing. I could have $200
When?
as soon as I get out.
All right. So assuming you get out today, by tomorrow, end of business, we could have $200?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you want to make regular payments of 200?
No, no.
Tell me what you can do on regular payments.
Can you do the 50?
How often?
Once, 2 times a month. We could do 2 times, or let's do 2 times 50 or 1 time 75.
You tell me. I don't care. You tell me.
I'll make the 1 time 75.
75 a month.
Yes.
Hold on, this is a critical moment. The judge isn't just talking about money anymore. He's laying down a structured deal. Pay $200 within the week, then $75 every month. It's a classic courtroom strategy. Give the defendant a clear path to compliance while making it crystal clear that failure means jail time. The real question now is, will he actually follow through, or will this opportunity slip away like the ones before?
Yes, we have a formula, you usually give them X number of dollars credit for one bill.
Oh, we do. I don't know.
That's what I thought. All right. So here's what I'm going to tell you. $200 this week, assuming the sergeant tells me you're likely to be home today. Okay?
Okay.
If he tells me that's not likely, then you know what? I'm just going to do it this way. $200 by next Friday,
Okay.
which is going to be the 27th,
Okay.
and $75 a month after that. You can always pay extra, but that's what you're committing to. 200 within the next week and 2 days, and $75 a month. And for every day you do on our work program, we'll give you $100 credit.
Okay.
Pretty good deal.
Yeah, that's good.
But if you schedule a day, you got to show up for that day.
Okay.
This ain't a dental appointment. You can just blow it off.
Understood.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now, next time we see each other, if you've been blowing off the court work program and you haven't been making your payments like you were committed to, then I'm just going to assume that the reason you're not paying isn't a hardship. It's just because you decided you're not going to pay us.
Understood.
Then what's my option?
You to send me to jail.
So if you're having problems, come up here and see me before this thing blows up.
Okay.
So, you know,
All right. And on the 16th for your next court date, it's me. So we can talk again then.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, sir.
All right. I'm putting all this on paper. And you understand you got to be here in person to schedule your work days.
Yes.
When you come up with that $200, schedule some work days so we can start knocking this bill down.
Okay.
Counsel, anything else for Mr. Pulley?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck, Mr. Pulley.
Should I talk to him now or ready to?
That's up to you.
Ready from Gilski, Your Honor.
Gilski?
Gilski. IELSKI.
Mr. Bielski. Counsel, your parents.
When I'm seventh, we have defendants in serious statement. Your Honor,
Good morning.
it's got potential violation of probation. He understands and appreciates why he's here. He understands the right to the hearing. We don't think a hearing is necessary, Your Honor. He's willing at this point to tender a plea guilty to a technical violation with.
Okay. All right. So Emily, it looks like he's all on track except for the work program. And he needs to get something going on payments. Okay.
But he's disabled at this point. We're looking for a little bit of a grace on that. We'd like to convert that if possible from work program to community service.
You got anything like doctor's restrictions or anything like that?
Social Security right now, and the one getting my feet, so I'm fighting against right now, get paperwork, so that to.
Okay.
That,
Give me an idea what the doctor's restrictions would say. Okay.
Can you stay on your feet? I mean,
yeah, just can't walk for every time.
can't walk with that.
Okay. I mean, can you pick up garbage on the side of the street?
And so doing both.
Yeah. We're not worried about that. I mean, we're talking about like a poker and picking up trash. You can handle that? Let's try it. Let's get him scheduled. I don't want you to impact your health. All right. So we can sign you up and make sure the supervisor knows that you're not the guy that's gonna be picking up the 40-pound bags of garbage. Okay? And then, are you in a position to get any kind of payments coming our way? Okay. I just want something regular.
Trying my best.
Okay, okay. Okay, all right. Cause it looks like total, looks like the total you owe us, cause you got some other stuff, not just this file. You're into us for just over $2,000. So just get something started. We got options, right? So once you get done with the work days you owe on this, maybe we'll see how that goes. We'll give you some more work days to take some of that money off. All right? Okay. All right, let's get him back on track. Emily? All right. All right, sign up today for the work program.
Appreciate it. That's Haley Matthau.
Matho, M-A?
Mathieu. First name is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.
Counsel, who's next?
Mr. Parsky on the sentencing.
Counsel, have you gentlemen had a chance to go over the report and recommendation?
We have one of the, when I was up on behalf of the defendant, we've had, today's time they set for the sentencing, but able to review the PSI with the defendant, Your Honor. Nothing really to add to that, Judge. I think it's consistent. I think it's accurate. As it relates to the recommendations themselves, I think those are fair. The gentleman does have a prior from 30 years ago. That said, he's a business owner doing the right thing. I'm hopeful that this is a kick-up. The one question I would have, Your Honor, as it relates to those recommendations, recommendation 6, I just want to make sure that he is on board and understands exactly what that means. Would that
Sure.
be going to an independent evaluator?
Exactly.
There'll be a list that
Exactly. Yep. Yep. The idea is if the evaluation, if the professionals who have more time to spend than we do, if they say no need for any further follow-up treatment, then we're fine. If they recommend treatment, then I'm probably going to order it. All right. What do you do at Repo Graphics?
Training for architects and engineers.
Okay. 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 Good. Good. Anything you want to add before I sentence?
I do want to apologize.
Okay.
Mistake. Because 54 years old, I should know better.
Okay. Are we talking about the driving or the violating your bond? Okay.
No excuses, but you shouldn't have.
Okay. How about violating your bond?
I'm sorry.
How about violating your bond? Yeah.
bond violation.
Yeah. You were ordered not to purchase, possess, or consume mood altering substances at your arraignment. And you told Mr. Oakley that you'd been using up to 4 days prior to the interview.
Be honest with you, I wasn't aware of that.
Okay.
Apologize, but was not.
And there it is, the judge's warning wrapped in a final chance. When a judge says, "Don't take my kindness for a sign of weakness," that's courtroom code for "this is the last break you're getting." The system is offering him a way to fix things, payment plans, work programs, even credit for labor. But from this point forward, every missed payment or skipped workday could flip the switch from patience to punishment.
All right. Anything else?
Probably close. No, yeah.
All right. I will adopt in full the recommendations that you went over with Mr. Q, items 1 through 10. Those are now court ordered. Fines and costs total $1,400. That includes 6 days on the court work program as an alternative to jail, and the substance abuse evaluation we already talked about. Any questions or clarifications required? Can you pay the $1,400 today?
Today.
Go downstairs and talk about your options. All right. Good luck.
We have Miss Moore in Zoom right now, the Miss Lewis in the courtroom, whatever would be easier.
I don't know where Miss Moore is.
She's my breakout.
Okay.
We've already talked. We're gonna.
And Lewis?
And then Lewis is in the courtroom, Your Honor. It's a show cause. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to touch it, but I've talked to her. I've been rolling.
Let's take care of Miss Moore. Miss Moore, if you're there, activate your camera and unmute. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
There you go, counsel.
You said when I was up here, they have Ms. Moore joining us today. Do you with consent? Ms. Moore, please state your name.
Tiffany Moore.
Looks like we're here for a review day and speaking with the defendant. It sounds like she had a dirty test a few months back. In speaking with her, it sounds like she has been nothing but good tests from that point forward.
So I think it's more than just that. So we sentenced on December 11 for impaired driving. Oh. We haven't received any documentation regarding treatment. She's failed to appear for the work program on 2 different occasions. Good news is she's making payments.
Am I able to speak?
Are you working, Miss Moore?
I just stopped working, but I did 2 days.
Hold on. Did you say you just stopped working or started working?
Stopped.
Where were you working?
Evans Distribution.
How long had you been there?
I started there December 1st. I got let go the last Friday of February. The last Friday of February, so right before March.
So you're looking for work now?
Yeah, well, I have a new job, but I don't start that until March. I don't start that until March 30th.
Okay, where's that at?
It's gonna be at Victor's Home Solutions.
Okay. Yeah, like Victor's Roofing?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I
Okay,
did
go
2
ahead.
days of the work program this week. I have another day that's coming up tomorrow, and I will be completing it next week. I paid for my substance abuse class. I paid $150 to get started. However, I'm waiting for them to schedule me with a needs test.
Okay, I'm going to suggest to you that if you waited the whole month of March, you got to find someplace else to get your treatment done.
Okay.
What I've got is you went for intake on February 27th, and you're telling me that you've been waiting for them for the full month of March with no action?
So I went, and every time I go, they're telling me that they're too busy because they have so many people coming in. They're telling me to come in like on a weekend. But
Then
right now,
you got to find somewhere else then.
Okay.
Ms. Trolley, what's your recommendation?
I do just want to, she did appear late for work program yesterday on top of 2 failure to appear. So I just want it to be known that any more late appearances or failure to appear shall result in her serving those remaining days in jail.
Ms. Moore, did you hear that?
So in regards to that, I have to take my son to school, and my son's school doesn't allow him to come into the school. I got there right at 8:10, so I got there before the guy was even there. So it's kind of hard. I'm a single mom, and I don't have really any help.
We can do jail because that was the option. It was jail or work program.
Okay.
You got to make arrangements. I mean, if I gave you jail time, and this is a 93-day sentence, I could give you all that. If I gave you jail time, you'd have to make arrangements for the other things in your life that you're responsible for.
No,
I'm trying to do it the easy way.
I understand, and I've made arrangements, in order with getting him to school a little bit earlier because he has to be to school at 8, and I'm getting there by 8:10. So I'm still leaving him outside. But I understand. I'll try to figure something else out.
You're scheduled at 8.
Okay.
You're scheduled at 8, and it's not up to you to decide how much time we need to put you on that bus.
Okay.
Ms. Moore, you understand that perfectly clear?
I do.
Thank you.
And just so we're clear, Ms. Tiroli says her recommendation is going to be any further problems with the work program, and however many